Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 3-0 Take, where we talk all things Major League Baseball. Here's Kyle Corwin and Nate Reyes. It all starts right now.
Welcome back to the 3-0 Take, presented by Big League Chew. This is episode 273. I'll be your host, Kyle Corwin, and I'm here with my co-host, Nate Reyes. Nate.
I think I need to start being introduced as Stephen A. Reyes.
I was gonna say, glad you brought it up.
Yeah.
Do you, before we get into what we've got today, do you just want to address the people based on how last episode went?
Not at all. I've got nothing to address.
There was a lot of feedback, maybe more feedback on a particular than any particular segment we've ever done.
I got some DMs for sure. I don't know. I mean, feedback wise, I felt like it wasn't even about what I said. It was more along the lines of how I said it. It's not what you said, it's how you say it.
I mean, people were, they were pro Nate people. They were people saying that I broke you, which time will tell on that. We have yet to see if that segment of the podcast or that particular segment broke you. We'll see if the Yankees can bring you back to life. But if they don't, surely losing a series to the Orioles doesn't help.
No, definitely doesn't help. But I don't think I was broken. I didn't feel broken. It was more along the lines of just I wanted to get heated. I got heated. And I don't choose these things. You guys are getting it raw. More often than not, I feel the way I feel when an episode starts. And then all of a sudden, I just it as you're talking, as I'm thinking about it, it just builds up. And then all of a sudden, I'm ready to pop. I think that's how it goes. I don't come in saying I'm gonna be hot on one thing or the other. It just happens. That's what it is.
Well, just like you don't choose these things, I don't necessarily choose when Vladimir Guerrero Jr. decides to go over 4 with 3 Ks or whatever it was.
Right after.
Literally, there's people saying, oh, well, now he needs to get Sevy something for Father's Day. It's like, okay, congrats. You're like the 15th person to make that joke on this post. It's fine.
See? That's what I'm saying.
Doesn't change the fact that
baseball works in mysterious ways.
Yeah, it sure does. You know what's mysterious, Nate, is how Albert Pujols already has 2 home runs.
That's cool, man. I'm rooting for him. I genuinely want it to happen. I would be an anti-baseball guy. I'd rather be wrong and it happen. Trust me, I don't want to be right about this.
I gave you the opportunity to join the right side of history, and you opted.
No. You
gave
gave me an option for my opinion. My opinion doesn't have to match what my heart wants. My heart wants 700. I want 700. Everybody wants 700. It's the whole reason he's still here.
Wow, look at you being...
But sometimes you got to take emotion out of it, dude. Sometimes you just got to say what you're feeling.
As you do many a time on this podcast.
Always.
All right, getting into more current events, Nate. Let's start with this Corey Seager intentional walk situation. Can we just say? Can I say? I won't lump you into this. Can I just say that Joe Madden is possibly overrated? Is that okay? Have we dubbed him as a smarter manager than reality would have it? I don't know.
That's interesting.
Interesting. Is it safe to say that maybe the baseball stars just aligned in 2016? It was 108 years, 108 seams on the baseball. Maybe the Cubs were just going to win that regardless.
So here's what I will say. Going back to Rays days, you have to assume that was almost like the early development of their analytical department, right? Because
as we know it now, I would say, yeah, probably.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like now we can say, okay, that they're ahead of the game in the analytics department for sure. But I don't think that started while Kevin Cash was at the helm. I think it was probably a little bit further back. And it's just become more of a higher decision making, higher in the equation. It holds a little bit more weight with their everyday, coaching, with their everyday, roster building, things like that. So I'm going to go ahead and assume that analytics department was probably starting to get created when Joe Madden was still there. Which makes me feel like you're probably correct, that we could more associate that success that he had in Tampa with the analytics side of things. As far as Chicago goes, that was a heck of a roster put together. And I mean, some in-season trades. It's like, that's a lot of Theo right there.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm not trying to discredit by any means. That was more of a joke. But, I mean, you got to take it into consideration a little bit. I mean, when you see them, coming back to this Corey Seager thing, at what point are we just making moves just to seem, I mean, we're just trying to seem a little too smart here.
Yeah, gotta relax. It makes no sense. When was the last time we saw it? Bonds?
2008, Josh Hamilton. Which, by the way, the opposing manager.
Rangers days or
the opposing manager, Joe Madden.
I don't know, dude.
The Rangers came up in the bottom of the fourth. Rangers were up 3-2. He puts Corey Seager on first. Corey Seager, entering today, Monday, he's hitting .294 with OPS plus of 127. So, all things considered, not a bad start to the year. He's not tearing the cover off the ball by any stretch, compared to some guys we'll get into.
Who was pitching?
Warren. Is that who was pitching?
No, you got me. Makes sense.
I think it was Warren. Career with the bases loaded, 365 hitter with 2 grand slams. So, not Barry Bonds by any stretch with the bases loaded. And he puts him on to put him up, 4-2? Put the Rangers up 4-2. Mike Trout is in the outfield looking like Cody Bellinger.
Yeah.
Just has no clue what's going on. Yeah. High as a kite, he's looking like. And you can see him sitting there counting the runners going, is this happening? Is this what I'm seeing? Is this what's playing out before my very eyes? And yeah, it was.
How'd that game finish?
The Angels end up winning 9-6.
Interesting. That's a nice little tidbit to
no.
But still, I mean, that's you're putting yourself in a 2-run hole. And I think his offense just kind of bailed Joe Madden out on that. He said it was 9-6. It just
makes no sense. Yeah, it was 9-6. And he said something. I need to pull it up here. He said, I thought by walking Seeger it would avoid the big blow and just to stir up the group, quite frankly. It's not something you normally do. I thought by going up there and doing something like that, the team might respond to something like that. So he's essentially just trying to rile up the crew.
Why would that be the way to do it?
Like I said, can we say that maybe
so right after that we had, I mean, overall, I'm going to say that didn't work because right after that, You had a sac fly by Garver.
Yeah, all 3 runs scored.
And then a balk.
The inning ended, Rangers were up 6-2.
Safe to say it did not work.
The big blow he was trying to avoid, it happened.
Yeah. Odd. I think if they would have lost that game, there would have been a lot more of an outrage. I don't like it. I don't like that. It's there's certain things that you just why do you need to outthink or try to outplay the game? I don't get that. It's frustrating, dude. It's frustrating seeing this weird stuff that it's just like, why? Don't do that. I don't understand why. If I was pitching, I'd be like, no, don't charge me that. Don't give me that run. It's not mine.
Yeah, I'm not saying every pitcher has to be this way, but I wish there were more Scherzer-esque pitchers in the league to where you get the signal from Madden to put them on.
Yeah.
You just
you
refuse
gotta earn that, right?
Refuse to throw the baseball.
Yeah.
Sure, and like I said, not everybody can fit that bill, but there are enough pitchers out there who have, quote, earned it that probably wouldn't give them the proverbial finger.
That's what not having to throw those 4 pitches anymore has robbed pitchers of. I would just be like, sit back down, and throw right in the zone. But the fact that all the manager has to do is flash those 4 fingers, and then I don't get it. It's odd. There's weird stuff going down with the Rangers. Did you see specifically Seeger? Did you see it like a couple weeks ago when he hit that ball off the end and it broke and it broke on the hand?
Yeah.
Like his bottom hand came off and it was odd.
Just the knob. Yeah, it was very bizarre.
Weird stuff going on with Seeger. I don't know.
What would happen? I'm curious because you bring up a good point. It's nothing new. We know this, but there's no 4 pitches thrown for the intentional walk. So what would happen? Like the next best thing if you're the pitcher, if the umpire says take your base, the umpire signaling the intentional walk. If you're the pitcher, what's the next best thing? If you want to stick it to your manager, just refuse to pitch to the next batter. Like what happens? What would happen in a game situation if you just refuse to pitch to the next batter?
I don't know. I mean, it was the 4th inning, so I don't think anyone was up in the pen. So it's not like you can just walk off the field. See ya. Here you go, Joe. Here's your ball. I don't know. Probably that. Honestly, you robbed me of my opportunity to try to get out of this. Like, why am I in the big leagues? If you pay me to get guys out, that includes guys like Corey Seager. And any other, stud in the opposition's lineup. That's why I'm here. Don't do that to me. I'd be livid. After the game, I would 100% be in Joe's office being like, what? Why am I here then? And I think, I don't know, maybe he did. I bet you that balk was on purpose. That's what I'm going to say. He balked on purpose just to top it off. Just be like, look, see, all 3 runs still scored. Crazy. Oops. That's what happened.
I don't know if I'm trying to add another run to my line to prove a point. Given that I already got dinged once.
I don't know. But I think that's the only way to get it exposed. Is to show it didn't work. Because if it did work, we'd all be talking about how much of a genius Joe Madden is. But
yeah, I think you make a good point. If it gets to that point, you just got to take one for the team and just balk
everybody in.
Get
everybody in. But it's so annoying that they argue for every out is so important, right? Man on first and second, no bunts. No bunts. We're not giving up an out. Why would we give up an out? We only get 27 of them, right? But you're going to force in a run? You're telling me giving up a run does better than that kind of scenario of giving up an out offensively? I don't know, dude. Baseball's gotten weird, man. Baseball's gotten weird. Just at a certain point, It's just a dude with a ball and a dude with a stick. Like, leave it as is. You're getting me fired up again. I didn't think I had much to say about this. Now it's starting to boil up a little bit.
Well, let me get your take on. Well, we already mentioned Mike Trout. We'll come to him in just a second, but because the juices are flowing a little bit, tell me your thoughts on this Fernando Tatis Jr. situation. A video was obtained of Fernando Tatis Jr. playing soccer in the outfield. Now, mind you, this isn't a video of Fernando Tatis Jr. just kicking the ball around. They're not hacky sacking it around out there.
Yeah.
They're like, all things considered, for professional baseball players warming up before a game or on an off day, whatever it ended up being, making his cuts, making his moves probably more aggressively than the average Joe. And not only that, he upends himself and ends up on the ground, nearly injuring himself on one or both of his shoulders.
Didn't he have I feel like he had an ankle injury last year too, didn't he? Or was the year before? Either way, I mean, it's just like, what are you doing? Well, what are you doing? This is not a good look. And I get it. Like, be fun, have fun, right? Like, you can't expect this guy to just only work out and sit on a couch and go to sleep. That's it.
No, but if you're a $300+ million player and the supposed face of the franchise, you lose out, in my opinion, and hopefully the opinions of many other baseball fans and just baseball people. You lose out on certain rights or freedoms as professional athlete.
100%. And I think, the perfect comparison. What's gone viral for another guy who wakes up and is probably in the MVP race no matter what, any day? That's Acuna. He went viral for being in the cage and hitting tanks and then just saying, I'm back. That's all we've seen from Acuna for the last couple months, is him just hitting nukes during BP saying, oh, let's go. I'm back. I'm putting in the work.
Well,
I'm ready to go. And he's worked his way back to being ready by May.
Yeah, even the rehab updates. Wasn't he like rehabbing with McGregor?
Dude is just getting after it.
Like,
then you have Tatis in San Diego making, more money.
Well, a lot more money.
And now we're looking at this and we're like, I'd be rubbed the wrong way if I was a Padres fan. I really would.
I'd be rubbed the wrong way if I was a teammate of Tatis.
You got to do certain things to relax and have fun, but like, dude, it's clear that you're not going to do anything athletically half-assed. Even when you're messing around with a soccer ball, you're going to go after it and you're going to do everything. Stop. Relax. But there is this stuff written in contracts. We don't need another. We've already told you about, Aaron Boone back in the day. The only reason A-Rod became a Yankee, well, two reasons, but one of them was because Aaron Boone blew his knee out during a pickup basketball game, right? I'm sure you have these contracts where guys aren't allowed to go snowboarding or skiing. Now there's motorcycles. We're going to cut those out of contracts. You're an investment. I'm not paying you to get hurt doing something that isn't baseball related. So stop doing stuff that isn't baseball related when it risks injury. Stop. And honestly, I don't want to see you on the field kicking around a soccer ball. Get in the gym, dude. Like, go work. I want to see viral stuff like Acuna of you being in the cage hitting tanks. Or running bases and just blazing speed. That's what I want to see. I want to see normal Tatis that we're supposed to see. I don't want to see anything negative about headline-wise anymore. This is twice now that the Padres are missing their guy. And this is twice now during this period that it's been a negative report. The first time was about the motorcycle accident.
To which you replied, which one?
Yeah. What are we doing, bro?
That's a very interesting point you bring up about Acuna. I feel like I see Acuna in a very distinct light in comparison.
Yeah.
To Tatis.
A dude of equal talent, if not better talent, some will argue, making less money, and is grinded to get back.
Yeah.
And he's back ahead of schedule. That's what I want to read as a fan. And that's what San Diego Padres are expecting to read soon. But this is a prime example as to why people argue. There's a sweet spot of how, when you pay these guys, there's a sweet spot. And the maturation process isn't happening at 23, 24 years old.
Yeah, I was going to say, Tatis, even as good as he is, there's still some growing up that needs to take place. Like you just can't be doing this. And there are a few things that I feel strongly enough about to where I'm like, no, in my opinion, there's really not another side to this argument to be had. Like I really can't picture in my mind a valid defense for what went on with this whole soccer thing. And people can say, oh, you're blowing out of proportion. It's interesting to me that the clip that was making the rounds was him falling. Like, it's not just him. Like, if it's just him kicking around a soccer ball, it's like, all right, whatever. Like,
yeah, and
probably still shouldn't be doing that.
You're
but
watching knees buckle and ankles roll, and I'm like, stop.
Yeah, I
like
just
you
don't.
said, falling. I mean, that's the same thing. You get these dudes. I mean, he clearly has messed up his shoulder, sliding, diving, crashing into walls. Don't do that anymore. Like, I don't get it. It's one thing if you get hurt on the field doing what you're paid to do. It's another thing if you're messing around. It's another thing if you're messing around with someone with a camera around you.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't want to say I've completely turned on Tatis because that would just be crazy. That's not the case. But with stuff like this that comes out, it's really hard to continue supporting this guy and trying to defend this guy where it's like, no, like all things considered, his career sample size is relatively small. And people are saying, well, why do we keep putting him in the top whatever list if we just haven't seen it yet at length? Yeah. And it's like, no, just we've seen the flash in the pan more than once for what you could consider a substantial amount of time. But we need to see it consistently for 140, 150, 160.
Yeah. Just stay in the gym.
With things like this that come out, you can't eventually get to the point where you just can't defend the kid anymore.
No.
It's like,
exactly.
You got to clean it up.
It's a different argument if you see a guy that's never been hurt. It's Tatis has been hurt his entire career for the most part. Stop doing dumb stuff. Sorry. And
like the boyish
then we'll
charm,
start reacting differently.
The boyish charm only goes so far. Like to sit there and say like, well, which one, and then kind of like laugh it off.
It's until you get paid. Once you get paid, nah, dude, it's time to grow up. Like, they made an investment in you. They're building around you. At least they're attempting to. In one of the toughest divisions in baseball, like, lock it in. But what's crazy is that he's capable of coming back and erasing this entire narrative in any part of these conversations by his play alone.
Right, and that's how good he is, because you look at last year, he kind of falls out of the MVP race, gets dinged up, comes back, puts himself right back in the conversation.
Yeah.
To which point many people believe he probably should have won it, could have won it.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. That I just would hate to see this turn into one of those stories of what could have been if he just continues to do stuff like this.
Yep.
I don't know. A guy that I already mentioned, Mike Trout, Fortunately, X-rays came back negative, but he was hit by a pitch on Sunday in the left hand, I believe, lead hand.
What are we doing?
Dude, I don't know. I don't know what kind of reaction that was to pitch inside, but wasn't ideal.
Was it, 81 or something? It was in the low 80s. I get that you stay in for spin. Like, you see spin, you stay. But,
you
like,
don't
why
open
react
yourself
that
up.
way?
You don't open yourself up like that.
Take your hand down. Like, you took your hand down to where you're going to get hit. What are you doing? That was the worst instinctual thing I've ever seen him do on a baseball field.
Yeah. And if he...
It's just odd.
All I'm going to say is he's lucky he had his hand there, because if his hand wasn't there, he's wearing that right in the crotch.
I'll take that over a broken wrist.
I mean, if I'm him, I'd probably not.
I get it. Instinctually, we're never going to be able to just wear it right there without flinching. But
yeah, probably not.
I'm just saying, like, since we're kids, turn. You have an elbow pad. You got thick Mike Trout thighs and glutes. Wear it.
Whoa.
What are you doing? Why would you ever turn open to it and then, like, bring your hand down and I can't even act it out. What are you doing? Stop.
No,
I'd rather see even him swing at that
instinctually right there. For the people watching on YouTube, hey YouTube, you turned in instinctually, but that's not what he did. He opened up. Like, he was like, ugh. I don't know what that was, man.
Odd, bro. The Mike Trout GOAT narrative is starting to thin out a little bit.
Okay, let's.
I'm just saying.
No,
I'm just saying.
Now that's just sensationalism. He opened up on a.
The guy finds a way to get hurt
on a hanger inside. Come on, you can't.
The guy is finding a way to get hurt at this point.
It's worth noting that he's. What did they say? He's gonna miss like a week, or is he?
The tweet that I heard was that X-rays were negative, and when he's ready to play, he'll play. I'm like, great, whatever that means.
Yeah, because we saw that pan out last year.
Clearly, everything runs through him.
Just
moved
it.
Oh, he'll be back in a week. 3 months later, cool. No Mike Trout, cool. This is, it's.
You know, honestly, if you're Mike Trout, I kind of respect the move. Like if you're seeing your manager make moves,
watch this,
making,
Joe.
Like, I don't want any part of this, dude.
That's
just
probably
don't.
What the pitcher said. He's like, all right, you're gonna give me a couple earned runs. Hey, Mikey, go wear this bad boy right off the wrist.
Dacha right on the hand. Tell me how this feels.
It's odd.
Yeah,
it's odd stuff going down in Arlington.
Just weird stuff. I think it was a bit of a stretch to say that the GOAT conversation is dwindling.
It is.
Well,
I'm not dwindling. It's thinning out a little bit.
Not because of how he responded to a pitch.
If there is any extensive fallout from this little weird reaction, wear it off the wrist scenario, if he misses longer than a week, if he goes in a slump, and then they say, oh, wow, we didn't see this hairline fracture in his wrist or whatever. Just saying, the guy finds a way to get hurt at all times. You never know.
Clearly, Mike Trout is succeeding at whatever it is Fernando Tatis Jr. is trying to do. Like, Fernando Tatis is like, teach me how to follow through on these injuries, Mike, because I'm trying at every turn in the road to derail my career. Tell me how to do it.
Strange, dude. Just strange. Angels can't get out of their own way. That's the moral of the story.
Angels are going to angel. Hunter Greene setting the record for most 100-mile-an-hour pitches in a game at 39. 100-mile-an-hour plus pitches in a game, 39. And it only took him 5 1/3 to do it. And it was against the Dodgers.
Yeah. Disgusting.
Which I feel like there's a correlation there. Probably a little amped up for your young buck facing the Dodgers.
I don't know. I think this is just him, dude.
No, I mean, I'm not saying he's not capable of just replicating this kind of thing on a nightly basis, because that's the buzz surrounding this kid, is he just pumps cheese.
Yeah.
But if you're setting a major league record and it just happens to be against the World Series favorite Los Angeles Dodgers, I feel like there's got to be a little bit of a correlation there. I'm thinking he's getting a little extra juiced up for the Dodgers.
Probably. I mean, I watched the Freddie at bat. 102 just starting at your front knee. That's disgusting, dude. It had movement and just like, don't throw anything else. You don't have to. I want your game log to read 97% fastball, 3% changeup or whatever. And that's it. What do you got to lose? You're on the Reds. They're not scoring any runs anyway, so you might as well just pump Ched by guys and hope for the best. But this is what people have been waiting for. This is what people have been talking about. And he's from here. He's from Arizona, and I've been hearing his name for a while now, since he was in high school. And I was like, this guy better be good. And then now we're seeing him, and you're like, oh, he is.
The rookie.
He's good.
Well, you mentioned the Reds, and honestly, I just can't think of a better transition to flip into our next segment of looking at some teams and players that are hot, teams that are not, players that are, players that aren't. I think I covered all my bases there. But before we do that, Nate,
tell them about the boys.
Tell them about the greatest bubblegum on earth, and tell them about these lids that they hooked us up with, and the lids that are now in stores.
Swaggeroo is what they hooked us up with. Big League Chew. You've heard of him. Founded by former left-handed pitcher Rob Nelson, Big League Chew started from humble beginnings in the Portland Mavericks bullpen in 1977. For more than 40 years, the iconic pouches packed with shredded, flavorful bubblegum has become the #1 shredded gum of athletes everywhere. Big League Chew has sold more than 900 million pouches and is designated as the Hall of Fame bubblegum. Grab some gum and head to Big League Chew's social media channels, at Big League Chew on Twitter, at Big League Chew Gum on Instagram, to show off your Big League bubbles. You can also find a list of retailers or purchase any of their products directly from their website at bigleaguechew.com. Big League Chew.
Big League Chew.
Nailed that. Freaking nailed that.
All right. Sorry. Freddie Freeman's first home run as a Dodger just happened.
Off the Braves?
Off the Braves, dude.
Oh.
Come on.
Oh, that's just got to rub some salt into that wound a little bit. Ooh.
I still can't get over that dynamic, man. It's just such a weird thing.
I want to watch it now. Did you watch it?
Yeah.
All right.
Oppo Taco.
Little Taco? Little Taco?
Hey, is it just me, or did Freddie Freeman slim down a little bit? Like
he does look slim. He looks slim.
I don't know
in that
if
white.
it's at uni or what, but he slimmed down.
Just the typical little inside out Freddie Freeman swing too.
How about that? No,
did
but
you see the pictures of him like in the dugout doing the pregame interviews and stuff? The dugout was filled with cameramen. Filled.
I believe it.
Nowhere to move.
Oh, look at this, dude. Freddie Freeman's son. He spots his buddy Dansby from across the field and just runs over. What a wholesome piece of content. No, but going back to this segment, you mentioned Hunter Greene and the Reds and how the Reds are just, I don't know, what are the Reds, Nate? How would we describe the Reds? I don't want to say an embarrassment to baseball because that city deserves better. But the team itself, the on-field product, it's just not good.
When was the last time they were ever relevant? Outside of a couple years ago, it's like there was a big gap.
Well, yeah, but even then, that's when you had that was Joey Votto. That was the year of the quotes for the Reds because you had Amir Garrett and he was talking about the bat flipping sons and guns, and then you got Joey Votto.
I mean, they snuck in. It wasn't like they just dominated.
Right. And that's, if you remember, that's when they asked Joey Votto, and he was like, what did he say? Like, we're some bad MFers or this or that.
Yeah, I think so.
And then they proceeded to get swept. I think it was was that like I don't even remember the postseason structure. Was that a 3-game series?
That was COVID year, right? I think it was.
Yeah.
I don't remember who ran through them in the first.
I think it was the Braves. Yeah. It was in Atlanta. I remember watching the game. It was like one of those games was a day game. I remember that.
Was it Braves or Miami?
No, it was the Braves.
Braves. Yeah,
that city deserves better. That's all I'll say. But
outside of that, I mean, you're going back to like Barry Larkin, Griffey, Sean Casey. Like, that's how big of a gap we're talking.
Yeah, we're going back to like the 1800s, like the Red Stockings, man. I mean,
it's ridiculous.
The red, what were they? The Red Legs or something? Well, not to give anything away here, but how do you want to start this? Do you want to look at teams? Do you want to look at players?
Start with teams.
Okay. Well, then
let's start with players.
My transition was for nothing. All right. Yeah. Let's start with players. Yeah, for sure.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. For sure. No, good. That was a good decision.
Proud of you.
That was a good decision. Unsolicited. Thank you. All right. Look, we've got a player that's hot, and we've got a player that's not. And the player that's not, for me, I actually just posted the graphic tonight. Mr. Tommy Pham. Tommy, buddy.
Not a good look.
What are we doing?
Send me back on that quote that you put out.
This isn't me like trying to tear a man down. I get it. This game is hard. This game will beat you down.
For sure.
But when you come out and say the things that you say, Tommy, it's kind of hard for people not to root against you.
Yeah, I agree.
He said, so when he signed with the Reds, I'm sure Reds fans remember, but if you're unfamiliar with the situation, he signed with the Reds and says, I'm playing to get my numbers, man. I'm being dead honest with you. I'm playing to get some numbers. I don't care about anything else. I'm looking out for me. 9 games into the season, entering Monday, 1 for 26. I'm not going to sit here and say, like, I told you so, I could have seen this coming, but baseball has a funny way of humbling people like this.
Yeah. Doing it for the wrong reasons.
I mean, to essentially spit in the face of your franchise that signed you.
Exactly. Even if you are thinking that, you don't say that.
No, you don't say that.
Ew, dude. Ew.
He's slashing .038. Yeah, that's a 0 for that first digit. That's .038, .194, .038.
I'm going to say not good. Not good.
OPS plus of -29. I didn't even know that was possible.
See, and this is the thing, is that like if Tommy Pham was a bigger deal, I would understand his comments. I'm like, dude, you've kind of been like a a fourth outfielder on every team you've played on.
Yeah, the Padres didn't even want you, man. Your fans wanted you gone. They were just waiting for somebody to come along and scoop you up.
Padres, Rays, Cardinals, like, and you come out with these comments. I love that baseball has just handed you this. Baseball gods have just been like, here you go. You're welcome. Wipe that humble pie off your face because you look dumb.
That's how this game works sometimes.
Don't say that, dude. You don't say that. You don't say stupid stuff like that. Ever. If you do, you better come out hitting 500 for the first full month of the year.
And I'm sure the way this always goes is because we've seen it before. You've got guys that come
backpedal.
Well, no, not even that. I really doubt he's going to backpedal on this. I think he's probably going to double down.
I hope he gets DFA'd.
And we've seen instances like this where a guy will say something stupid and then he gets a bunch of people against him.
Mm-hmm. And then
Stroman's a guy that comes to mind.
Oh,
where
like where you manufacture your own
manufacture your own hate, manufacture your own motivation, and then comes out and like has a few solid games, pieces it together immediately thereafter, and then he's looking like the GOAT. And I'm sure, I mean, game probably just started because I think they're playing. I think they're actually playing the Padres tonight. I'm sure you check the box score at the end of the game.
Give me an over 5.
He'll be 2 for 3 with a bomb and a couple of walks. Whatever, dude.
All right, so moving forward, are you thinking this stays consistent or he does find his way out of it?
Well, I mean, surely he's got to come around from this, but I mean, I think it's inevitable. He eventually finds his way out of this. I don't think it's very.
It's not going to do anything substantial this year.
No.
Okay.
No. I think this is very telling.
Yeah. I think so too.
I don't think that's an overreaction either. Like that's a tough hole to dig yourself out of.
We get to a certain point where you just like you kind of outplay your potential, and I mean as in length of time. He's not playing over his potential. He has potential. He's had potential for years, and eventually you're just like you got to show up. There's a certain point where you got to start producing to live up to that potential.
Which is probably what elicited those remarks. And like you said, even if you're thinking that, you just don't say it.
You don't say it. What a bum. We
need to bring back the bum list. It's been a minute.
I think so too.
It's been a minute.
A little spicy.
Do we want to?
Adam, official right now.
Are we opening it back up right here, right now?
Yep.
All right.
Bum list.
First addition to the bum list. There you have it.
Fam.
Good to have you back.
Lame. Well, I guess it's kind of pick on the Reds night. I have Joey Votto as a not hot at the moment. Yikes. He's 4 for 34 starting off the year. Slashing 118, 250, and 147.
You're telling me what I already know, dude. He's my starting first baseman in fantasy, and it has not been a pleasant experience thus far.
An OPS plus of what? 18. 18. The average is 100.
I mean, Tommy Pham was...
I get it. It's early.
Negative 29 OPS plus.
You can get in the negatives?
That's what I said. I didn't think it was possible.
I didn't know you... Woo! Yikes.
You're so bad that you're like...
You're costing...
You're below what baseball labels as like the bottom floor.
I can go out there and lay up a negative... What? What'd you say it was?
Negative 29 OPS plus.
Yeah, I could put that up in a heartbeat. Send me up.
What is he
I'm
making?
ready, Reds. Let's go.
$7 million, I think, with the...
Yeah, what a waste of money. He's probably the highest paid player outside of Votto. But, yeah, old Joey. 15 strikeouts, only 4 walks so far. What I was looking at his baseball reference. what's in jeopardy here is he's got a career average of 301. Oh, Joey.
What, well, let me ask you this. What are your thoughts, if any, on a possible correlation between this and his sudden emergence on social media?
Interesting. It is a distraction for sure, I bet.
Because
for some guys.
His opening video on Instagram was, so I mean, I watched it. I can't remember exactly what he said, but it was basically along the lines of like, I haven't been on it. I was like, I don't think he said I was scared to, but he just like wasn't sure. He just didn't know, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
And I just feel like it's so interesting that he decides to hop on the year that the Reds completely just crumble and just dismantle. I really don't think Joey Votto really cares about baseball that much right now. And that's not a knock on him. If I were in his shoes, I'd probably be struggling to care.
Yeah, your first time stepping into social media is like, it's overwhelming. You're taking a lot in. It's hard to focus. And like you said, I mean, it's just like, it's a terrible team. It's clear you have guys in there that are just playing for themselves. I can't imagine that Joey Votto is one of those guys. And so it's not helping. I want him out. I want him gone. I want him somewhere else. I want someone to buy low on him to this year, and just go find like this like flash in the pan magic where you just carry a team to the postseason.
I would like to see it.
Keep him in the division. Give him to the Brewers. What do you think?
Yeah, I like that.
I don't hate that, right? Red Sox? Old Bobby's struggling.
It's been 10 games. Let's relax.
I'm just saying, like it's not a bad fit. That I do think he'll work his way out of it, but I'm just saying this is a rough start. Rough start for old Joey.
You know who's not having a rough start? A guy that it's criminal how little I feel like he's been talked about thus far in the season. Owen Miller of the Cleveland Guardians. Just hitting baseballs. That's really it. That's all this guy does, apparently. He is 14 for 28.
Ooh.
A league-leading 500 average.
Ooh.
He is second in Major League Baseball in OPS among those with minimum 30 plate appearances. 344.
That's decent. Yeah.
That's pretty good. I mean, definitely some room for improvement there, but not a bad start for Owen Miller. 344 OPS plus behind none other than G-Man Choi of the Tampa Bay Rays, which don't know how that's working.
I don't know.
He's leading the league in doubles. He's leading the American League in slugging at 964. He's leading the American League in OPS with a clip of 151. I mean, I snatched him up in fantasy on both teams because I was like, I'm going to make sure I grab hold of this production. He's just been a machine.
Yeah, this always means that it's late. Anytime fantasy-wise, it always means it's late, right? I'm sure he's going to just start slumping the second he gets on your team. That's the way it works for me anyway.
No, I've had him for the last, week. That's what I'm saying.
You've had him that long?
I've gotten him. I've gotten a fair amount of production from old
good for you.
Owen Miller.
Good for you. I mean, is it safe to say the Guardians have just kind of like, who's their hitting coach?
And that's what I'm saying, dude. The Guardians are just
doing his thing.
I thought you were saying Stephen Kwan is their hitting coach. I was like, that would probably make sense.
Could be.
No, they're just killing it, man.
They're actually playing pretty good, yeah.
And that's part of why Owen Miller, I feel like, has gotten zero love. Like you hear about, I mean, obviously Jose Ramirez, Stephen Kwan took over the baseball world, and Oscar Mercado, he's swinging it well too.
Mm-hmm.
He's getting lumped in that conversation, but Owen Miller's just kind of like, yeah, no big deal. Just leading the league over here and just kind of doing my thing.
Keep it going, dude.
Good for
How old
Owen.
is he? Do you know how old he is?
Honestly, I have no
Young
idea.
cat? I'm assuming he's a young guy.
He's got he played 30 or 60 games last year.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking at it earlier. He played, 60 games last year.
How'd it go?
204
like
hitter,
this.
4 bombs. Yeah, I mean, definitely not like this.
Dialed in.
But he's, to answer your question, he is 25. 25 and a half.
Good for you, bro. And I mean, like any kind of hot start that a cold weather team can get going with is I think it's a big plus. Like if I can hit well in cold weather, I know it's going to carry over to once it starts warming up.
Born in 1996 in Mequon, Wisconsin.
It hits different when you tell me he's 25 versus when he's actually born. I don't know why it hits different, but it does. When you say the year he's born, it's a little more depressing.
96, yeah. Yeah, we're old fogies.
Yeah.
Mequon, Wisconsin, with the cheese curds.
Send him to the Brewers too. Why not? Get everybody on there.
I mean, his name is Owen Miller.
It makes sense.
I mean, come on.
Just
send everybody to the Brewers. Who do you got for the player that's hot?
Kind of a cop-out answer, so I have 2. Nolan Arenado has gotten plenty of love, but I got to give him my love too. Whoa. 13 for 30.
I'll send Nolan my love as well.
Hitting 433, an OPS of 1514. Going into to Monday. Wow.
How many home runs did you say he had?
4.
Would you say that all 4 of those probably ended up in the seats? Safe to say?
Not in the middle of my stats here. I think it's still up in the air.
All right, I'll give you that respect.
Ball is still traveling. And
that's fair. That's a great way to derail, to defer, to just say they're still traveling. That's fine.
Ball's still going but 12 RBIs, 5 doubles. He's only struck out 4 times. You already know he's doing his thing defensively. So Nolan is just, I'm thinking this is where Cardinals fans really just start to fall in love. So
if they haven't already.
If they haven't already, which he should have as soon as he, put on the uni for the first time. But I think they're starting to see what he's a real deal. And he's getting comfy now. I like seeing that he's comfy in his new home, where there's plenty of seats.
Nate, did you say SeatGeek?
There we go.
Let's talk about it. It's the answer to all your ticket needs. By the way, people were just loving the fact that I abruptly ended your rant with a SeatGeek ad read last episode.
I blacked out.
People said they were
honest with you. I don't even remember the rant.
They said they were rolling because I hit him with I hope Garrett picks out something nice for Vladdy, and then I hit you with the SeatGeek ad read, and you were just
that's your little cop out jab. I get it.
Finishing your rant after the ad read.
I did. I was still hot and I was still blacked out. That ad read could have lasted 2 seconds. I would have had no idea. I was just right back on it.
Well, let me tell you about it, Nate. SeatGeek is the answer to all your ticket needs. Are you looking for tickets? Do you have plans with friends or family to make it to an upcoming game or concert? Or are you even looking months ahead to nail down a date to get tickets before they sell out? With SeatGeek, you can find tickets to games, concert shows, and even theater performances with just a few easy clicks. We're making it even better for you if you're a first-time user of SeatGeek. Next time you add some tickets to your cart, use our promo code THE0, take pod at checkout to save $20 instantly off your first purchase as a first-time user. So all I got to do to save some of that?
Gas money.
Enter promo
Grocery
code.
money. Vending machine money. Pocket change. Cash is cold hard cash.
Enter promo code the number 3, the number 0, take pod. It's our social handle. If you have any questions, just go to our Instagram handle, our Twitter handle. Heck, I think it's even our Facebook handle if that's even a thing.
I'm tired of hearing you read it. You just I like this path right here.
It's our social handle.
I like when you get a little impatient. It gets me fired up. I like it.
Enter that at checkout. That's all I got. SeatGeek. Who's your other player? This was. I mean, like that's
what I'm saying is that I had to have like Nolan's easy. Everyone's talking about Nolan, so I grabbed Andrew Heaney. What?
That's probably a real dagger to your soul, isn't it?
Hurts my heart to see this guy just absolutely lighting it up. 2 starts so far, hasn't given up a run. Gone 10 1/3. It's only given up 4 hits. Get this, only walked 2 guys. And he has 16 strikeouts. Then I was like, just out of curiosity, what'd you do last year, Andrew? Just a casual 29 home runs and 129 and 2/3 innings between the Yankees and Angels last year. Pretty sure like 28 of those came with the Yankees, but doing his thing, dude, and like entering quickly to the comeback player of the year. What do you think?
Yeah,
like that. Getting into that conversation.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's active listening. Good for you.
Thank you. All right, that covers it for the players. Let's transition over to the teams, shall we? By the way, this segment of Hot and Not is brought to you by the Northampton Red Sweaters Croquet Club.
Sebastian's always hot, so no need to bring him up. He's always doing his thing.
I mean, perennial MVP candidate. Not even a candidate, a perennial MVP winner. He's what Mike Trout wishes he could be.
I need a custom jersey. I'm going to ask for him to send one over. Sign it. Sign one of the sweaters for me, bud.
A red sweater of the Red Sweaters.
DiVitello is just what's
is number 7,
like
by the way.
Knitted in. It's just like it's clearly like it's crocheted. It's not there's no sewing machines over there.
No. It's all crochet.
Yeah.
Is number 7.
Croquet and crumpets. Yeah, for sure. Number 7.
That's our other podcast. So we've got that and a Costco podcast. Yeah, it's number 7, in case you're wondering. My team that's hot. I think their game was postponed tonight, so at least buy me a little time in case they were just getting pummeled tonight or something.
That's always how it goes.
The New York Mets, a surprising team that's hot.
Heard of them?
Yeah.
You were telling me Mets were going to Met. So.
The Met, well, if you'd let me share my thoughts here, I do believe that the Mets will inevitably Met, but it does not take away from the fact that they started off hot. 7-3 entering Monday. They're 2.5 ahead of the Braves, who are in second in the division right now. They've pulled off a 3-1 series win versus the Nationals, a 2-1 series win that was in Washington. They had a 2-1 series win in Philly, and then a 2-1 series win versus the D-backs. And you can say, well, of course you would expect them to start off hot. But like we always say, we just saw it with the Yankees this weekend, and that's not a cheap dig. But you go in a series like that, you have to win.
Yeah.
Like, sure,
the pressure's on you. The pressure's on you as the better team.
So if you're the Mets, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, and you're taking these series from these teams.
Yep.
And
can't discount those victories.
No, and they're swinging it well too. I mean, 2 of those series are in the division.
Right.
So you need those as well. Which, by the way, side note here, have we ever addressed the fact that the tiebreaker, like, is this a just this year thing, or is this moving forward? Did I hear that we're not doing 163s anymore?
Correct.
Where was I? Have we talked about this?
I thought we did.
Did we? I don't think we'd ever. Or I didn't think we had.
We talked about directly saying, because like you and I were basically panic mode for a 163, because I would have had to have like
Wow. I'm
travel to the post. You know,
talking about blacked out. I mustn't. I mean, I remember that, but I don't remember that. If that makes sense. Because I'm hearing all this stuff now about getting it because it got brought up with the Gabe Kapler situation, the unwritten rules thing, which I don't even think we got a chance to talk about, by the way. But
yeah,
they're just that was one of the big points. Is like you got to take your runs where you can get them because that could make the difference come October.
Oh yeah, 100%. I agree.
So, with that said, they got a plus 26 run differential. The rotation is just killing it, which is my primary point of discussion here. They've thrown 50 and a thirds innings. They've only given up 6 runs. They've got a ERA of 1.07, a WHIP of 0.75. They've walked 11 and struck out 59. That rotation, the starting rotation ERA, is the lowest by any team through 10 games since the ERA became a stat in 1913.
It's the new Mets, bro. I'm telling you. I don't think they're going to Met. I think Buck has brought in a new mentality. Max Scherzer has brought in a new mentality. It's different now. I'm telling you. It's different.
Mets are going to Met. They're
doing this without DeGrom.
Yeah, and what did they do last year, Nate? They led the division for months only to fall flat on their face. So I'm not
telling you, dude.
I'm
Buck
not
having
worried
control of that clubhouse. I can't wait for you to bite your tongue.
That's fine.
It's coming.
It'll happen. You're right. It is coming. The Mets are going to Met.
6 months. You'll see.
No. It's coming. You just wait.
Well, I'm going for a hot team that I don't know about. I think I'm taking the same route as you. I'm not buying it completely, but we got to acknowledge what the Rockies are doing. 6-3, starting off their year here, and that was coming into Monday. And as I look up the live game, they're currently up 4-0 on the Phils.
Yep.
In the 8th. So, yeah. So before this game goes final, they're 6-3, potentially 7-3, but they have a +8 run differential. And I was looking at it, was like, okay, who have they played? I mean, they took 3 out of 4 from the Dodgers to start the year. They swept a 2-game set with the Rangers. And then they split with the Cubs in a 4-game set. But their team ERA is at 3.62. It's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Team batting average of 280. Team on base of 347. And then I was like, okay, let's break it down a little bit more. Let's look at these names. I got to give some love to Daniel Bard, hopping into the closer role. He's got 4 saves already.
Also on my fantasy squad.
CJ Crone. Mashing baseballs. And like he went from like, oh, this is a nice little like flash in the pan opportunity last year to like, oh, now he's putting himself on that list of like one of the best power bats in baseball, I think. He's already got 5 jacks. OPS of 1117.
He's feeling it.
And who does he split time with? Connor Joe. If you haven't seen that lettuce, look it up. He's hitting 361. He's got an OPS of 1132. Also has 2 jacks. They're just rotating at DH and first base between those 2 guys, and they're raking at all times.
Which, side note, is any National League fan missing pitchers hitting right this
I know,
point?
right? Probably not.
You're not fooling yourselves. Just accept it.
Ridiculous. Especially the Braves fans are going to be praising it when Acuna is going to be on the DH full-time duty for the first 2 weeks of his season. But, I mean, and then, KB hitting over 300 easily. So it's just they're doing their thing. They're pitching well. Their bullpen has been really good. And they're doing it in a division that's very tough. And I like it. Go play 500 ball this year. Go play spoiler. See what you can do. I'm not buying in. I'm sorry. You're not sneaking in. You're not going to get into a wild card spot, but I'm proud of you.
I saw an article today that said hop on these teams' bandwagons while you still can, and the front picture was of KB, and I'm like, oh, I'm
not hopping on.
Let's cool it.
Not hopping on. I just wanted to acknowledge it. But looking ahead, I mean, this could continue. Tonight was the first of a 3-game set with Phillies. Then they got the Tigers for 3. Then they got Phillies again for 4. Well, and then the Reds for 3 to finish out the month.
That can carry.
I think so too.
And it's a perfect segue into my team that's not hot, which is the Philadelphia Phillies. Nate, not looking good for the old fighting Phils right out of the gate. They're 4-6 entering Monday. Very possible by the end of this recording they'll be 4-7, or by the end of the night they'll be 4-7. At this very moment, they're 3 games back of the Mets, sitting in 4th place, which I know at this point doesn't matter, but it's just worth noting. -9 run differential, and they've only scored 13 runs in their last 5 losses. With that said, though, I know it's early. They rank top 10 in both batting average and OPS in the entire league.
Really?
Very odd. Yeah.
Because that's, odd. I mean, they have guys slumping.
Yeah, but it's on the bump where they're really suffering. Their team ERA after 10 games is 5.07, which is 26 in baseball. Their starters ERA is 5.68, which is 12th out of 15 National League teams. Our guy Aaron Nola, 7 earned runs and 9 1/3.
And I think that just went up tonight. I think he started tonight.
Yeah, so entering Monday, it was 7 earned runs and 9 1/3 over 2 starts. And he's coming off a season where he had a season of a 4.63 ERA. So you're really gonna need Aaron Nola to be better if you're gonna turn this thing around. And that's what Harper said. He was quoted as saying, "We just need to be better." Like,
yeah,
he gets it. I'm pretty sure everyone in that clubhouse gets it. They see, like we were talking about before the season started, there's some magic there, but they got to tap into it, and you're not going to be able to get it done if you can't get it done on the bump.
Exactly.
And you can't sync up with your offense.
I think the only thing that can save them, and I mean save them this month, is going to be their offense. And we're in this period where at about 10 games, and I think this is going to carry until about 20 to 25 games overall, where starters still aren't ramped up and bullpens are getting tired already. Those bullpen arms are pitching every day. They're starting to get overused because of not getting length out of these starters. This is where you're going to see this stuff. So the offense for the Phillies is going to have to swing them out of it and buy some time for a bullpen to rest. Buy some time for a starter to go out there, and it's okay giving up 4 or 5 runs, in a 7-inning start. But you got to get some length from the starters, and it's just not there yet. It's not coming yet. So it's either the bullpen locking things down, which we know that's their weak spot anyway, or their offense just hitting him out of this. And I got to lean towards the offense, man. They're capable of it. They can do it. They got guys that can do it, but Schwarber's starting off cold. I don't know, man. They got to get it going. Because you can lose this division in April. You can.
Yeah.
You really can. It's going to be snug. So get it going. For sure. Another team has got to get going. Dude, the Brewers. I know they're only 5-5, which isn't crazy, but we knew that their hitting is going to be kind of suspect all year. But I don't know, dude. They've got some issues. They're -13 run differential. They starting off the year, they split with the Cubs. They took 2 out of 3 from the Orioles and then split with the Cardinals. coming into Monday. They've only hit 5 home runs as a team.
Not great.
Milwaukee's a hitter's ballpark, dude. They've only hit 5.
Well, don't look now, but Christian Yellish just had his first home run of the season. It was a grand slam.
Yelly. Let's go, Yelly. That's my comeback player of the year right there. But I'm just saying, coming into tonight, it's a little shaky. And even after you read that off, no guy has more than 1 home run. So they got to get it swinging for sure. Team batting average of 213. They're not walking. Team on base percentage of 298. But what's surprising here is they have a team ERA of 4.03. I would have guessed that
that's team ERA, not rotation.
Correct, team ERA. But they're not being beat by the long ball. They've only let up 7 home runs. Freddie Peralta has been kind of rough out the gate. 7 innings, 10 hits, 9 earned runs. Got an ERA of 11.57, a 2.29 WHIP. Oh no.
Well, if they're not losing by the long ball, I mean, it wouldn't take much to.
That's what I'm thinking.
If your
that's
offense
what I'm thinking. I don't think this is something that's going to last. I mean, Brandon Woodruff, Corbin Burns is going to be Corbin Burns. Brandon Woodruff looked good in his first start, and then he struggled against the Cubs. Give up 7 3 2/3. So, but they're going to have a nice little path. I was looking ahead for them. Pirates for 3, Phillies for 3, Giants for 1. Whatever the reason for that, I have no idea. If someone knows that, please explain it to me. I don't know why they're playing the Giants for 1 game. And then again, Pirates for 3 and Cubs for 3. So they got a chance. They got a chance to turn things around. I mean, six of those games being against the Pirates, they need to pick up, I'd say, 4 dubs against those guys at least. But they got to get it going offensively, for sure. And Yellish is going to be the guy. Yellish is going to be the guy that produces for them. If not, they're gonna go get somebody.
Yeah, that is weird. I'm seeing the 1 game, Monday, April 25th.
I don't get it either.
That's bizarre. A 6-10.
Nothing from opening day, right?
Can't think.
Postponement or anything from opening day?
No, because they opened the season with the Cubs in Wrigley.
Right. What? I don't understand this at all. And it's not an interleague thing, so that doesn't make any sense.
That's weird. Anyway.
Yeah. But I think they're going to be okay. I'm a little surprised with this little, I won't say, it's kind of a skid. It's kind of a skid. But they got to hit, dude. This is something, I mean, Willie Adames has got to be the guy. Colton Wong has to start swinging it. I mean, Lorenzo Cain, what happened to Lorenzo Cain? He also traded for Hunter Renfroe. Get it going. Start hitting. Let's go. Let's go Brewers a little bit. Kind of.
A little bit. Still on the fence. Well, Nate, that wraps up that segment, and that about does it for the sake of time. You got anything else for the people?
Yeah, a little shout out for Jake Arrieta, retired today, 12 years. Looked up some numbers, solid. Totaled up at 22.8 WAR. Got 115 wins, 3.98 ERA. Did get that Cy Young in 2015 with the Cubs. 1,400 strikeouts to 500 walks. So good, solid season, or a solid career, I should say. And I think it was kind of cool what he said in his comments. He was just kind of like, I think it's time for someone else to wear this jersey. It's, eventually you just kind of fade out and you understand that you're no longer, you feel like more of a liability than a help to the team. So I think it's just a very mature way to go about it. But I like Jake Arrieta. I always liked him. He's tenacious and tough and cool beard. So I was like, yeah, give him a little shout out. But peace out, Jake Arrieta. And then let's see what else I got here. Ichiro, did you see him throw out the first pitch?
Pumping
in Seattle?
cheese, dude.
Full uni.
Full uni.
Guess what that pitch was?
I have no idea.
93.
Oh, my goodness.
It is the fastest first pitch ever recorded. 93 miles an hour.
Why is he still not on a big league field?
Who? I want to know who caught the first pitch and how uncomfortable that was.
It was Julio Rodriguez, dude.
Was it? Just
yes.
Imagine 93 sink to the shin to start off your your home opener.
Yeah, they probably pulled him aside afterwards. It was like, "Hey,
Why?
Ichiro, you're great. You're like our guy. You're an icon for this franchise, but don't ever throw a first pitch 93 at our potential next phase of our franchise ever again."
No gear, no nothing, just 93 straight to the web. But yeah, pretty wild. And then the only good thing that happened for the Yankees this weekend, Nestor Cortez threw an immaculate inning. And what was funny about it was that Higashioka, after the inning was over, he tossed it into the crowd. Got a whole bunch of yelling from the dugout, all the teammates and everything. And I think they swapped it out. They managed to swap it out with the fan. But I thought that was kind of cool. An immaculate inning. And I think that I didn't put this down in my notes. I think I read that it was like the third one in the last 2 years for the Yankees, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, good for Nestor. That's it. That's all I got. Weird weekend.
Trying to think of some correlation.
Something negative to say about Garrett Cole during that?
No.
Even though he's the one that made the fans' day and saved Nestor's day.
More immaculate innings than World Series appearances or something. I don't know.
I see. It's a little bit of a stretch there. Yeah.
You could go a lot of different ways with that because, I mean,
Could you?
Haven't done much. But that's all I got.
How'd you guys do against the Twins? I didn't see.
We split the series, you know.
Did you?
It's fine.
How did Patriots Day go for you?
It's fine. We split the series.
Okay. Just curious.
It's fine. We split the series. I don't know what you want me to tell you. They're still a fourth place team. I stand by that. The Twins are frauds.
Oh, I thought you were saying the Red Sox are.
No, I haven't said that the Red Sox are fourth place team. The Twins are fourth place team. I stand by that. But
they're not coming in fourth.
You just wait and see. That's all I got.
That's it for me, folks. If you haven't already, go check out YouTube. Go subscribe, like, comment, whatever you want to do. But definitely hit that subscribe button for us. Trying to grow this thing, dude. Trying to get it going. And that's how we want to do it. And that way you can see our beautiful faces on a regular basis and not work. Because obviously if you're doing this and listening to this in the middle of the day, you're not working. Let's face it. So.
True story.
Yeah. But do me a favor. Don't you dare go chasing curveballs.
We love you all, and as always, looking forward to talking more baseball with you guys soon. Until next time, stay filthy.